Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I make my stew without boiling it. So I'm going to start off with washing my meat. So this is actually beef's meat, okay, cow meat. So I just thoroughly wash it, and I wash it several times. Actually, it has been cleaned and there's no dirt in it, but I just like to thoroughly wash it once again. Once I've finished washing it, then I prep my seasoning for it. So I use one onion. You can use more than one onion. Most of the ingredients here, they're very customizable. So I take my onion and I'm going to just chop it up. And most people will just cut up the onion and then put it in the beef. I like to blend my onion because my husband doesn't like seeing onion in stew. So I like to blend my onion like that. And I just blend it without water to create a thick paste and concentrated flavor. So after blending it up, I add it into the beef stew. So that's my beef. I add it into the beef, and then I rinse it with a little bit of water and then pour that in there. For the seasoning, I'm going to be using ginger, curry. I'm adding curry, thyme. I'm also adding thyme in there. Bouillon cube. I'm using like a knock bouillon cube, and then I'm also adding in some salt. So I use about one tablespoon of each, and then I give it a thorough mix and just let it cook in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just cover it up. Once I've covered it up, it started cooking. Now I can prep my stew. So my vegetables, I'm using this amount of vegetable. I chop it up and I'm just going to pour it directly in my saucepan. I'm not adding any water. I'm steaming it. So what I'm actually doing is just steaming it, not boiling. So I'm going to steam it for a little while, and while doing that, I'm also checking my stew, my beef, and I add some more water just to bring the broth out of the stew, because we're going to need that for when you make your stew. So I just make sure that all the tough parts are inside. Once I do that, next I'm going to check on my vegetables. So right now you can see the juices from the tomato, the peppers, the onion has come out, and that is what is used to steam. You can see that there's not so much water. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it inside my blender. Now this is the thing. Once I put it inside my blender, you can see it's cooking. It's still cooking and steaming, yeah. And then I'm just gonna blend it really smooth. So I'm blending it on high. My blender was kind of messing up. My blender has been acting up lately. I don't know why. Bushy mix. Anyway, so I blend up my pepper, my tomato, my habanero, scotch bonnet. We don't use a lot of pepper in our house, so please feel free to add more pepper as you fit. Next, my meat. I don't fry meat. So what I do is that I take the meat and I put it on my cookie sheet, and then I'm just going to put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. The result of putting it in the oven is that you get a more healthier option of not using oils to fry, because you're still going to use oil when making the stew, right? So I'm just going to take this, arrange it neatly so that they're not, crowded too much. So I always use a big cookie sheet whenever I'm doing this. And once I've gathered up all the beef and stuff, make sure I get the very last one in there, no beef left behind. I now go and I put it in the oven, 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Sometimes you can even go less than that. So 30 minutes, you're good to go. So now for the broth, what I do with the broth is I strain the broth. Always strain the broth because you don't want little pieces of beef or bones stuck in there. As you can see, yeah, there was some bones stuck in there. Now that is the broth that you're going to save. So next thing I'm going to do is the beef is ready. I'm transferring the beef back into the sauce pot, and I love this sauce pot. These pots are from Sode. They're really, really nice. They don't burn. They don't stick. They're really, really nice, and I love using them a lot. Okay, so I'm putting all the beef back into the pot, making sure I ring them well. Let me ask you a question. Some people, when they make stew, they add chicken, beef, fish in the same one stew. I've never done that before. I don't think I will. How does your stew taste? Does your stew taste like beef? Does it taste like chicken? Does it taste like fish? Because I don't understand how people mix their stuff. Anyway, I'm taking 1 cup of oil, drizzling it all over the beef, just like that. And that is all the oils that I'm going to be using for this stew. Trust me. So then I take my pepper mixture, pepper, tomato, onion mixture, and put that on there. Don't worry, I'm still going to rinse off that container and pour more liquid in there. But before then, I'm going to pour the liquid, the beef broth in there because that adds the flavor of the seasoning and stuff. But please feel free to add more seasoning. I believe you'll see me add more seasoning later. So I'm going to mix everything up thoroughly. So give it a good mix. So one thing that I also do, this is very, very optional. I'm going to tell you, so keep on watching. You don't have to do this next step, but I do it sometimes because I just like the taste of the stew when it has it in there. I'm going to first cook this so that all the juices and all the flavor from the beef gets into the stew and everything kind of marinates. After a little while, I'm going to then add in some tomato paste. So this is what I do. I add in tomato paste. Some people don't. Most of the time, if I'm just making a quick stew, I don't add it in. But when I add in tomato paste, it gives me the thickness that I want. It gives me the flavor that I want, like jollof rice flavor of stew. You know what I mean, right? So I add that in. You can add some more if you want. Then I'm going to add in any more things. So at this point, this is what the stew looks like. Trust me, it is cooking. It is cooking. So I just add in some more bouillon cubes, and then I also add in a little bit of more salt. I'm going to be tasting, mixing, and I taste so that I get the desired flavor. As a child, did your mother or your caretaker, did they ever say, come, bring your hand, let us put stew on your hand? I was always afraid when my mother did that, okay, because I always felt like it would burn my hand. So right here I added a little bit more salt in there, and I'm just going to give it a mixture. I'm feeling the flavor, and I also added a little bit more tomato paste in there because I just didn't taste the flavor I wanted. So this is the final result. This is how it looks like. It looks like the color I wanted. You can see the oil has risen to the top. That is how you know that your stew is ready. So you boil until the oil rises to the top. So my stew is ready. Come and eat with me, and will you be trying this method? Thanks for watching, and guess what? I'm gonna see you later. Have a nice time, and please feel free to watch these other videos, and please subscribe and comment. Thanks for watching. Bye.